So when it comes to making a plan, there's like a variety of things that you can do when it comes to the resources you're going to use, the strategies you're going to actually employ to actually study, how you're going to study with, who you're going to study with, which strategy you're going to use during the test. All of that can be part of your plan. So what I wanted to do in this video is just basically give you a salad bar of options that you could include in your plan. Now, we're not going to go into any of these options in detail, but there are resources available in the description down below and on Summit that can help you learn more about each of these strategies and resources so that you can choose among the salad bar of options. And then as you go through the process of self-directed learning, you'll start finding out, especially if you keep track of things like I talked about in the previous video, what works and what doesn't work for you. And then you're going to be able to make better plans as time goes by. So I'm going to start right off the bat by looking at the actual power focus area to see some of the things that we can use as far as strategies. So first of all, define your key terms. That is definitely a major strategy that people should use. Another one that you could use is for each of your objectives, writing down 4 key facts of what you learn about it. So you write the objective on your notes, and then you write 4 key things about it. Another awesome strategy that you might do is take the diagnostic. To find out what your areas and strengths and weaknesses are, you can look at which objectives you're strong, which objectives you might need to focus a little bit more. You also can do that right before taking the actual content assessment. Take it again to see where you are after studying. Did you get better? Are there still weaknesses in a certain objective versus another? Do you need to study a little bit more? So that's another strategy that I like to recommend to my students. As far as resources here within the platform, you can see that within each objective, there's a lot of goodies. So in introductory materials, there's often study guides, presentations, review videos. So those will usually be great. So that's another piece of resources to definitely go to, whatever's in your introduction materials. Within objectives, you will often have websites. You will have checks for understanding, which are like miniature quizzes for each objective. Those are great, strongly recommended. Sometimes there's Quizlets. Sometimes there's virtual flashcards. Sometimes there's videos. Sometimes there's practice, handouts. So different kinds of resources. And again, whether you're going to do any of those depends on what has worked for you in the past, what you respond to the most, where can you get the information that you need to define those key terms, to get those key facts for those objectives, right? So a variety of resources available within each of these things. There's vocabulary lists, there's presentations, key term lists, etc. Now, moving away from the content, from the focus area itself, and let's go into the week page, where when you make a plan for a topic, let's say, for example, I'm going to add a goal here, and I'm going to say I'm going to study for a power focus area, and I'm trying to do relationships, and I'm trying to make a plan, right? So, no, not make a plan. I'm trying to actually study. So I'm going to study and take notes. And then they actually suggest different types of notes. There's Cornell note-taking, and if you hover over, it actually takes you to a resource on how to do that. There's outline notes, so again, a resource on that. There's I'm going to take notes and videos, and again, there's a resource on that. So right off the bat, there's strategies within the platform when you're trying to create your goal. So let's say I'm going to use outline notes, right, on objective 2, okay? And there you go, you can create the goal. But you can also, for that goal, come up with a plan. And then depending on the type of objective that you create, you can actually be prompted to come up with a plan. So let's see if I say I'm going to study for objective 3 of ecosystem relationships. And I'm going to do 3 pages of notes in 55 minutes. And then I realized 3 pages are a little bit ambitious, not achievable. So let me change to 2 pages. All right. Now, if you go here and you create the goal, and then you go to add a plan, there's tons of ideas. Adding to your notes, getting feedback from the teacher, asking for support from the teacher. I'm going to attend a workshop. I'm going to attend office hours. I'm going to practice the skills with a friend. I'm going to review class activities. I'm going to review the rubric for the assignment. I'm going to study notes. I'm going to make a study group. I'm going to study with a peer. I'm going to take notes on the resources, and you can specify which resource you're doing that one. I'm going to work independently at home. I'm going to work independently in class. I'm going to work independently doing office hours. So the actual system gives you ideas for plans that you can add to your actual notes. Let's say, for example, I'm going to take notes on resources, right? And you can add multiple plans. I'm also going to attend a workshop, right? So that creates a sub goal within that major study goal. So that's why I also like to create a goal and type it myself. And then I can pick within it some of the strategies that are in the system. And then the other cool thing is that if you've created strategies or plans of your own in the past, like for example, if I go over here and I type add a plan, and I actually type, say, study with Khan Academy, in the future, that option that I just added as a plan will show up as an option from the drop-down menu of plans. So that's another cool resource within the platform that can help you create or find resources or make the best plans. Another place that you can go to find awesome resources is actually within the actual resource link, which includes learning strategies resources, both for study and taking notes. And again, those are the ones that were linked within the platform when you were trying to make the goal, or on how to make plans, right? Breaking down goals into chunks or making SMART goals. We already did videos about that. Or how to review, whether it's to test yourself or study with a friend or working with a teacher, and even on test taking strategies, right? So within the platform itself, you have other additional strategies and resources that you can use when you're trying to make a plan. And as time goes by, you find out again which ones work for you and which ones don't. Other than that, the actual resources that I have attached to the video description down below also prompt you to think about other things that you can do, like using checks for understanding or ask students for help. And or on the focus areas checklist, there's tons. Give a specific time for your plan. Take notes on your own words for each objective. Do the checks for understanding. Review your notes. Summarize each objective on your own words out loud to yourself, or rewrite it to yourself. There is different ways here to show work. Showing your notes or double checking your answers. There are on the content reflection readiness. There's tons of little checkline items that can give you ideas for what you could do to study. So basically, between Summit's learning strategies, the features with the learning page, what's already in the actual content assessment itself, the resources I'm giving you, and you talking to your mentor, you have a huge salad bar of options. And the idea is to never get stuck doing the same thing over and over again that has not worked before. But when you are actually thinking about the plans you are making, and even perhaps in the week screen, breaking it down the way that I did in the demo, right? Adding extra plans. So you just say study for the objective, actually adding the sub plans of how you're going to achieve that within the day. That will actually help you become a better planner. And as you do that and track how that worked out, you repeat the cycle over and over and reflect upon it. Over time, you become better and better at studying. You find out what works for you. You find out what doesn't, whether it's flashcards or study lists or whatever million different strategies there is for study. And in the description down below, I'm also going to link additional resources for study strategies, including a video on how to study for focus areas from the Summit platform, and another learning strategies document that I have prepared from the Summit platform, and also a study document of my own that has a list of a ton of study skills that you may want to employ and lead. So huge salad bar of options. Continue working with your mentors to help you select from those options and keep trying different things until you find that's the stuff that works for me. When I do it this way, I do well. And that is how you make better plans.